Good afternoon and welcome to Follow Everton. It's Wes here on his lonesome. Hope you're all out there doing okay, fellow Blues. My mate Ozzy Chris in the background putting all the graphics up because he's not allowed to talk after 8 o'clock where he works. Can you whack the team news up there, my mate? So we have obviously Pickford in goal, O'Brien, Tarkovsky, Keane, Michalenko, Garner, James Garner, NGI, Grealish, Tyler Diblin, and Tieno Barry. So is everybody happy with that team? It's a bit unusual, I think, that he's put Diblin in instead of Alcaraz. But I suppose we'll get to see what he's capable of, possibly for a good portion of the game. And then I'm guessing he'd probably be substituted at some point for Alcaraz. Afternoon all, afternoon Daniel. Have we got the Crystal Palace team up yet? So in Crystal Palace we've got Dean Henderson, Munoz, Richards, Lacroix, Gay, Mitchell, Wharton, Kamada, Sarr, Pino, and Mateta. Now, there's no need to turn around and point out the dangers in that squad because it's full of them. Wharton, very good player. Ismail Sarr, probably one of the most informed midfielders in the country at this present moment. Pino as well. I watched him the other day against Dynamo Kiev, and he was exceptional. And we all know Mateta's a beast up front. So the dangers are all there. But what I will say is that these played on Thursday night. So I think as much as a hard game that this is going to be, I still think Everton are capable of getting something out of this game. We have some good players in our team that are capable of matching theirs. Abo's wondering why we can't see Chris. He's allowed on. He's just not allowed to talk. But he's in the background doing all the graphics. Yeah, so what he says, he's working on site, and they've got a cut-off time of 8 p.m. so that they can make any noise. So unfortunately, we've got him on, but he's in the background pulling all the strings. So is everybody kind of on the same hymn sheet here that this is going to be a tough game with the most informed team in the league at this present moment in time? They are, considering that the players that these have lost over the years, these are an exceptional team. So Daniel's saying there, Daniel, he's happy with the team and he's open Grealish. I think Grealish is going to play on through the middle, probably the number 10, and you'll probably see a different Jack Grealish to what we've seen in the past. Creating and probably have an actual shot on goal, but creating through balls for Tieno Barry. I'd have thought that if he's going to play Grealish through the middle, I would have thought that Beto would have been a better option than Tieno Barry because he's got a bit more pace, I think. But obviously, I'm not the manager, and the manager picks the team, obviously. Now, what I will go on is that I want to just bring up this thing that obviously David Moyes pinpointed in his press conference, that we have contacted the PGMOL, and they've admitted that the last 2 yellow cards from the derby and the West Ham game last week, was it West Ham? Mind gone blank. Yeah, West Ham. That there was 2 yellow cards that shouldn't have been yellow cards, but that doesn't do us any favours. You know what I mean? We can't, you know, benefit from that, but other teams are benefiting from that. So it's like it's a total ineptitude from the officials again. So we need, you know, like I think David Moyes said in the past 2 seasons or something, KDH had six yellow cards in 2 seasons, and he's got 5 in 6 games. Like it's just ridiculous, and we're gonna miss him massively today unless Jack can step into those shoes. But then him and KDH had a good link up, so we're obviously going to miss that link up. Are we going to be the same team? Not having that. But Mark's saying the same. It's going to be a tough game. However, this is still a winnable game. Oh, absolutely. We usually do well against Palace, which we do. We have a good. Unlike our rivals over the park, they're not our bogey team. So, we've got. We have got a bit of an. I wouldn't say a hoodoo over them, but I think they know when they came to Goodison, it was they were in for a tough game like any other team, but there's no mistaking it that they've got threats all throughout the pitch, and they took off Mateta the other night and brought Nketiah on. He had a goal disallowed, and then he scored. But that could work to our advantage with them playing on Thursday. Mr. Blue Skies going Nick Diblin playing right wing, and Njai goes to the AFCON, so it's good he's getting some practice there today, 100%. But then that gives, that sort of sends us into another problem of trying to, cover his sort of input and his playmaking abilities in the team, trying to replicate that. Is Diblin the man to do that? I don't know. We'll see today. He's tricky, don't get me wrong, but he's gangly. I'm not sure how quick he is. But Tazol saying, can we have some positive vibes before the game? Yeah, I think everybody's kind of thinking that, it is a tough game, but we can still do them, I think. Like Robbie messaged me earlier on. I think Robbie was saying his reverse psychology on me. It's not working, Rob. I'm not having it. He's saying that we're going to get battered today 3-0. But I think he was saying, I've said all week that we're capable of getting something out of these today, whether that's a point or all three. Obviously a 1 or 3, so we can move up the table. But maybe this could be another Brighton start the season, and we sort of, we play better against the better teams. I think that this is going to be our hardest game of the season so far, because even though Moyes came out and said it was going to be our hardest away game, I think this today is going to be our hardest game at the HD Stadium. I'd say Hill Dickon. I can't even see it. Say you can't see it. Say it. I can't see it. Can't say it. Come on, you Blues. At least we don't have a right back playing left back. 100%. Have we got the 2 right backs on the bench again, and as new on the left? High definition stadium. I can't say Hill Dickinson. It's too much of a mouthful, mate. Mr. Blue Sky saying all the Palace fans have heard from. I worry about playing us because we're their bogey team. Possibly, I'm not sure whether we'd be their bogey team, but I don't. We think we have anything to fear from them. Like, they have got some great players in their team, and their manager is highly respected now because of what he's doing, considering the players that he's lost. But he won't sign the new deal, and I think he knows what he's worth. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't be surprised and I said this through the week, I wouldn't be surprised if you see him as the next Man United manager. And if he does that, I think he'll just absolutely kill his career. But watch this space. Mark saying we'll play more counter-attacking today than we did against Villa and the Hammers. It'll be more like the Brighton game. Let's hope the result ends up at the same. That's what I just said. Yeah, I think this could be, a game like the Brighton game, where I wouldn't say that we were second best on the day against Brighton, but we certainly, it was kind of 50-50, wasn't it? You know what I mean? But I'm happy we're coming up against these today, because I think it's a strong test of our form at the HD Stadium. Aussie Chris, is this a gay? Is the common denominator for our attacking issues? To be honest, despite winning the ball back a lot, he never contributes enough going forward. He has no vision and can't pass. He's a tough. He's tough on the players, is old Peter. And I get what he's saying, but then he's not really there to do that, is he, mate? He is there to sort of break up the play. He's not there to. He's not a playmaker. He's never been a playmaker. So, that's what you've got your KDHs and your Njais and your Jack Grealish in. So it's Road our luck against Brighton. I'm guessing what you're saying there, Mark. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I mean, I think they hit the post twice, didn't they? There's the Blues guys. Sort of stat Palace are 19th in the possession stats this season, which makes them a counter-attacking team. Possibly. But obviously they're good at it, because I think they possibly go second today. So, we obviously need to be aware of that as well. Obviously, Moyes will have them all clued up on that. Daniel Barton. On Sky, why am I watching Carragher going on about Forest defending from corners? Supposed to be watching Everton Palace. Because he's a gobshite. Simple as that, Daniel. Sorry for the language. So, my mate in the background here says he wants a midfield three of Ghana, KDH and Grealish in the 10. Just to need a week to see it in action. I don't know. I don't know whether Moyes and Grealish is happy with where Grealish is playing on the left. But I seen the comment the other day from somebody saying that NJ's struggling out on the right, but he plays right on the right for Senegal. So I think he's done all right on the right. He didn't have a great game the other night, but I think he's done all right on the right. Mark saying Tim's no better. Salute with his too loose with his passing. Yeah, I mean, but I think Tim Iraboom was a bit more attacking than what Ghana Gay is. So, but obviously Moyes is he's going with his trusted steeds, isn't he? Win for us and the loss for the Red Shite make my weekends 100%. We'll be able to sing our favourite song. We don't want to talk too much about them. No, the wheels might have fell off, but who cares? So Mr. Blue Sky is saying that's going to be our midfield when Idrissa and NJ go to the AFCON. we're going to be desperately thin on players then, though, aren't we? Like desperately thin for players. What when and Jai and Garner Gay go to the Afcon, so we need to sort of hope that Senegal get knocked out early. Daniel's saying we need 3 points to stay in the top half. City followed by Tottenham is going to be tough after the international break. Important match today, 100%. Every match is important, mate. Every single match. But going away to City, obviously that's a tough one. But they're not that at the best at this present moment in time. But they've kind of in the last few games they've kind of kicked into gear a bit. So yeah, any sort of and then like you say, we've got Tottenham then at the HD Stadium, haven't we? So but I watched Tottenham yesterday, and they were the better team against Leeds, to be fair, but not anything that I'd worry about as such. You know what I mean? Where are we? Moyes wants to play 4-2-3-1. He can't do it with the disagreeing the two. Our best option would be KDH and Garner for me. Yeah, but you're then taking out one of the best sort of interceptors and tacklers in the league. Do you know what I mean? Not so. I get what you're saying, Peter, but this is like if we haven't got him, I don't think we've got a player like him that can do his job as good as him. You know what I mean? So, yeah, obviously he doesn't offer a lot going forwards, but show me a defensive midfielder apart from Rodri that does. Mark Foster reckons Mangala's coming in on loan in January. Have you got that on good information, Mark, or are you just throwing that out there to see if anyone catches the hook? Maybe Mail and Garner can play in the middle by that stage, could make it. I mean, does anybody actually know what's wrong with Roll? Because like I hope he's not another one that's just come in and he's made of glass. You know what I mean? Like he's got Weetabix legs. Because we can't afford to carry passengers in this team. You know, and I can't say we really seen enough of them to sort of like judge him. Well, here's a question for you, Blues. Once Jared Branthwaite's fit, right, does he displace Michael Keane at this present moment in time? Because I'd say it's a tough one. I'd say it's really tough to sort of like drop Keane and bring in Branthwaite straight away. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that Branthwaite's probably going to be on the bench and get brought on and get some minutes under his belt. You know, maybe 10 minutes here, 15, 20 minutes here. But I think, based on current form, I think it'd be a tough, cold art for Moyes to drop Michael Keane at the moment. So Daniel Barton's going on about Gabriel Jesus. There's another one though. He's injury prone, isn't he, Daniel? We've just got rid of one sick note. We don't want to replace him with another. Mr. Blue Skies saying he's happy with Barry starting. Barry at home, Beto away is what I'd do to give them both games time. Beto is better away from home. Yeah, I mean, I did just mention that there, Mr. Blue Skies, that I think if you've got Jack through the middle, I think Beto's a better option to have through the middle because he's got a bit more pace about him and he's more likely to beat defenders with but through balls from Jack. if that they transpire. Whereas I don't think Barry's got the pace to sort of outstrip defenders. So I don't know. Obviously, I don't pick the teammate, so the manager's gone with what he thinks best. But I also think that chopping and changing the strikers every game is not a good look either. I think we need to sort of give one or the other, like 3, 4, 5 games, and then see where they are after that. So Daniel's saying Branthwaite will be back into the team, but when he is up to speed, I think he'll replace Keynson because Taki and Branthwaite have the better understanding as a partnership. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. I just don't think, when he's fit, he's going to be able to just throw him in anyway. But I think it'd be a tough call on Michael Keane. But I also think Michael Keane understands his role within the team, is that he is going to be like third choice centre half. So who's this here? I dropped Tarkovsky, to be honest. Wes, this guy signed a new contract and a pay rise. Doesn't contribute shit all going forward. Keen to a pay cut and has had most shots on target out of our players. Yeah, bearing in mind, Peter, like Michael Keane was, when he started his football career, he was a striker, so that's no surprise. But obviously, this scored the other week. Do you know what I mean? It was a cracking goal against the Red Shite. But like I say, I don't think that's his job to sort of bomb forward, Peter. I don't. He's there to break up play and stick his foot in and get in where other players won't. So, but yeah, I keep saying it about Sahi. I don't think you can drop Sahi being the club captain. Who else has taken on that role? If you drop Tarkovsky and bring Keane and Branthwaite in, who's gonna captain the team? I wouldn't give it to Pickford. Do you know what I mean? He's too not lackadaisical, but I think he's kind of like too erratic. If you get what I mean. So Mr. Blue Skies, yeah. So Mr. Blue Skies just agreed with exactly what I said. Yeah. Peter said, how does that work? Guy gets a pay rise, 120 grand a week. He does nothing, whereas Keane takes a pay cut and he has most shots on target. But you can't say that this guy's done nothing, Peter. You can't say that. When he's probably the best midfielder for interceptions and breaking up play. You can't say that he's done nothing. Just because he's a defensive midfielder doesn't mean that he doesn't do anything. And plus the fact that at the end of the day, agents negotiate contracts. If Everton could have found a player that was younger than Idrissa Gueye and as good as Idrissa Gueye is at doing what he does, then and on less wages, I'm sure Everton would have got somebody in, but they haven't. And Idrissa Gueye is, whether you like it or not, is an integral part of the way Everton play their game. Like the breakup of play from Idrissa Gueye is underestimated by players, by fans. I think when he's off it, he's off it. When he's on it, he's unbelievable. Where we know we can negotiate a good breakfast deal. Indeed, he was available, but it didn't happen. Yeah, I mean, where did he go, Gaspipe? Where has he stayed at Leicester? I don't know whether he did or not. Atangana we were linked with, but didn't sign him. Yeah, I mean, I think by then when we was I think when we was linked with all these players at Ghana and Ndidi and all that, we've been linked with Ndidi for a while now. So that sort of tells you, and I think he was a free agent. I think it tells you where obviously the manager rates him, because if you're being able to get somebody like that in on the free agents, then it's a no-brainer. But he might have wanted too much money. But if the manager doesn't rate him and rates the player that you've got, and the player that you've got is happy to sign a new deal, albeit on a pay rise or whatever, then he's going with what he knows, isn't he, the manager? So indeed, our mate in the background saying, indeed, he's at Besiktas. Yeah, maybe, if Leicester wanted to keep him, they could have given him more money, I suppose. But maybe he wants to test himself somewhere else. Um, yeah, so Mark's saying, yeah, when Garner's getting on and when his level drops, it will drop fast. 100%. But at the moment, what we've got at the moment, and maybe next season, then we might look at replacing him, looking at a replacement for him. I think most of us, when he signed a new deal, we're thinking he may be gonna only play like, I don't know, 10, 15, 17, 18 games this season. But I suppose he's been that integral to the way that we play, is that we've had to put him in, and we haven't had anybody to sort of take his place. So Peter's saying that Garner's, slowing down the play all the time. But we haven't got any pace in the team really to sort of speed up the play anyway. Do you know what I mean? So, and Wermy's saying that he's argued that all our players slow the play down. Yeah, like I've just said. And Wermy's saying except for Alcaraz, but we seem not to like that. Like, it is a bit of a strange one that for Alcaraz, is that, you know to go out and shed out the money for him. Yeah, it wasn't mega bucks. Like, I think, what was it, 12 million or something? I don't know. Um, it wasn't mega bucks that we shelled out for him, but then to have him on loan and then see enough of him in that loan period to then sort of go out and outright buy him, and then when there's a possibility of him playing like today, he's kept on the bench. I suppose that sort of speaks volumes. But then I suppose with KDH being out suspended, and then you've got obviously possibly Jack Grealish going in through the middle, and then Jai going back out on the left and dribbling on the right, then is that position available for Alcaraz because Grealish has taken it up? Probably not. Right, so what time are we on? So I've chatted shift for 30 minutes, so let's go on. See what the score predictions are today. Aussie Chris, let's start with you in the background, my mate. Peter, are you having a fume there on the sly? The, the, the thing is, Peter, right, is that not the pace, it's the lack of vision for it. But he's brought in players with vision, right? And Garner is not that player. He's not that player. He really isn't. So our mate Aussie Chris going for a 2-2 draw. You know what? I'd take a point off you right now, straight away. But I'd like to think that we've got more in us to possibly get the 3. I think, like I say, I think a big a big plus is the fact that they played on Thursday night. So can they play 2 games in the space of 4 days? Absolutely, Tazzle. We need to get behind what we have at the minute so we can get better. It's a slow build, right? Things aren't going to change overnight because we got the likes of Jack Grealish and KDH and Tyler Diblin. We still need to add players to that squad that are going to improve us. It's not a quick fix. So Mr. Blue Sky's going 2-1 for the Blues. Love your optimism, mate. I was going to go 2-1 as well. I'm still going to stick a quid on O'Brien to score the header. And it was to be honest, I was going to stick it on last week, but the odds was shite. I think it was like 6-1 or something for him to score a header. Not worth me money. Not worth £1. Gas pipe 2-0 to the Blues. Loving it. Tazum going for a tight 1-0. Barry with the goal. I'd love Barry to get off the mark and hopefully bring a bit of confidence to the lad. And I've heard this week everybody sort of speculating as to why is the reason that he's took all his Everton stuff off Instagram. Who cares? Gang 1. 3-0 to the Blues. Someone's getting it soon. We keep saying it, mate. And hopefully it come one day. But gas pipes, big up Gang 1. It's right, Gang 1. But yeah, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 to the Blues. I'm going to go for a Jack Grealish goal and an O'Brien header. I think we can do these today. I honestly do. Been saying it all week. But anyway, Blues, I'm going to end the stream there, and hopefully next week me and the Robster will be back on, and or the next game. I think we got an international break coming up next, haven't we? So we've got 2 weeks. We've got an international break of not having to watch Everton at least, but also I'm not going to watch England because they're absolutely dog shit. It's worth watching than the Reds. Right. Have a good weekend, Blues, and up the fucking Toffees.